Somewhere on your desk, or buried in your inbox, there is a document you have been avoiding. Maybe it is a 40-page supplier contract. Maybe it is a dense industry report, or a lease, or a set of terms and conditions written by someone who was paid by the word. You know you should read all of it properly, but you are busy, so you skim it, you sign it, or you file it, and you quietly hope there was nothing important buried in the middle. Today I want to show you a better option, the jump from drowning in long documents to using AI to pull out the key points, the obligations, the dates, and the risks in minutes. But I am going to be honest with you the whole way through, because when it comes to contracts and confidential documents, doing this carelessly can hurt you more than it helps. So we are going to do it the safe way, and the safe way is the only way I would ever recommend. The pile of documents problem. Let us start with where most business owners are today and call it level 0. A long document lands in front of you, and you have 3 bad options. Option 1, you read the whole thing end to end, which you rarely have time to do. Option 2, you skim it, catch maybe half of what matters, and miss the clause that costs you later. Option 3, you put it off entirely, and it sits there radiating quiet guilt until a deadline forces your hand. None of these are good. The problem is not that you are lazy or careless. The problem is that long documents are built to be thorough, not readable, and the important parts, the payment terms, the notice period, the automatic renewal, the liability you just took on, are scattered through pages of ordinary language that all looks the same. That is the ceiling of level 0. You are relying on your own tired eyes to catch a needle in a very long haystack. What a good summary actually gives you. Level 1 changes what you ask for. Instead of reading every line yourself, you ask an AI to read the whole document and hand you back the parts that actually matter. And the good summary is not just shorter, it is structured. You are not looking for a vague paragraph that says the contract is about services. You want the specifics. You want the key points in plain language. You want the obligations, the things you are agreeing to do, and the things the other side is agreeing to do. You want the dates and deadlines, when things start, when they end, when you have to give notice, when a price can change. And you want the risks, the penalties, the fees, the clauses that quietly favor the other party. When you ask for those 4 things by name, the AI stops giving you a book report and starts giving you a working brief you can actually act on, the safety rules that come first. Now, before you paste a single document into anything, we need to talk about safety, because this is where people get hurt, and I would rather scare you a little now than have you regret it later. There are 3 rules, and they are not optional. Rule 1. Keep confidential data private. A contract often contains names, prices, personal details, and terms you are simply not allowed to share. Some AI tools send whatever you type up to a company's servers and may even use it to train future models. So you never paste sensitive documents into a random free tool without knowing where that data goes. Rule 2. The AI can misread. It is fluent and confident, but it can get a number wrong, miss a clause, or misunderstand a double negative, and it will tell you the wrong thing in the same calm voice it uses for the right thing. So you always verify against the original. Rule 3. This is not legal advice. An AI summary helps you understand a document faster, but it is not a lawyer, and for anything binding or expensive, you get a human professional to look at it. Hold those 3 rules in your head for the rest of this video, because everything else sits on top of them. What this looks like in practice. So what does the safe workflow actually look like on a normal day? First, you choose your tool with the privacy rule in mind. Ideally an AI that runs privately on your own computer or through a business account where your data is not used for training. We show you how to set that up in the free course, and it matters most exactly when the document is sensitive. Second, you give the AI the document and a clear instruction. You do not just say summarize this. You say, read this contract and give me the key obligations, the important dates and deadlines, any fees or penalties, and anything that looks unusual or risky, in plain English. Third, you read what it gives you, not as the final truth, but as a map. It shows you where the important parts live. Fourth, and this is the step people skip, you go back to the original document and check every important point against the actual text. The AI points you to the clause, and you read the clause yourself. That is the whole loop, and the 4th step is what keeps you safe. Reading a long contract in plain English. Let me make that concrete with a made-up example. Picture a small business owner, call her May, and May is not a real person, just a stand-in for a lot of owners I speak to. May is handed a 22-page supplier agreement and given until Friday to sign. At level 0, she skims it, sees nothing obviously alarming, and signs, and 3 months later discovers it renews automatically for a full year unless she had cancelled 30 days before a date she never noticed. At level 1, she asks a private AI to pull out the obligations, the dates, the fees, and anything unusual. In under a minute, it flags the automatic renewal, the 30-day notice window, a late payment penalty, and a clause that lets the supplier raise prices with 2 weeks' notice. Now May does the important part. She opens the contract, finds each of those clauses in the real text, and reads them herself to confirm the AI got it right. Then she picks up the phone and negotiates the renewal terms before she signs. Same contract, same deadline. The difference is she now knows exactly what she is agreeing to. By hand versus with AI. Let me put the two approaches side by side, because the contrast is the point. Reading by hand, on your own, is thorough in theory but slow, and when you are tired or rushed, you miss things, and there is no structure telling you what to look for. Using AI the safe way, you get a fast first pass that pulls out the obligations, the dates, and the risks in a structured list, so you know exactly which parts of the document to read closely. Notice what I am not saying. I am not saying that AI replaces reading the contract. I am saying it tells you which paragraphs are worth your full attention, so your limited time goes to the clauses that matter instead of being spread thin across 40 pages of boilerplate. The AI does the first pass, you do the judgment. Always check it against the source. I want to spend a moment on verification, because it is the habit that separates people who use this safely from people who get burned. The AI can misread, so treat every summary as a claim to be checked, not a fact to be trusted. When it says the notice period is 30 days, do not write that down and move on. Go to the document, find the sentence, and confirm it says 30 and not 60. When it says there is no penalty for early termination, check, because a missed clause is invisible in a summary. It simply is not there, and you will never know what it left out unless you look. The good news is that this is fast. The AI has already told you where to look, so verifying is a matter of reading a few specific clauses, not the whole document again. You get most of the speed, and you keep all of the safety, as long as you never skip this step. If you want to try this, here is the honest, low-effort way to begin. Do not start with your most important contract. Start with something low stakes, a report you have already read, or an old document where you already know what it says. Ask the AI to summarize it into key points, dates, and risks, and then check its summary against what you already know. This does two things. It teaches you how to write a good instruction, and it shows you where the AI is strong and where it slips, all without any risk. Once you trust the process on the easy documents, you graduate to the real ones, always with the private setup and always with the verification step. Walk before you run, and let the low-stakes practice build the habit before the stakes are high. And because I promised no hype, here are the honest limits. The AI can misread, and it will do so confidently, so the summary is a starting point, never the final word. It can miss a clause entirely, and a missing point does not announce itself, which is exactly why you verify against the source. It does not understand your business context or your appetite for risk the way you do, so a clause it calls minor might matter a great deal to you. And to say it one more time, because it is the one that costs the most, this is not legal advice. For anything binding, anything expensive, anything you are unsure about, an AI summary is a way to walk into the lawyer's office already understanding the document, not a way to skip the lawyer. Use it to be faster and better prepared, not to cut the professional out of a decision that needs one. Quick recap. Let me pull it together. Level 0 is drowning in long documents, skimming them, and hoping you did not miss anything expensive. Level 1 is asking AI to read the whole thing and hand you the key points, the obligations, the dates, and the risks in plain language, so you know exactly what you are dealing with. But you do it under 3 rules. Keep confidential documents private and process them with a tool you trust. Always verify every important point against the original text, because the AI can misread. And remember, it is not legal advice, so bring in a professional for anything binding. Start on a low-stakes document, build the habit, and only then point it at the contracts that really matter. If reading long documents is a load you would like to lift, we made a free step-by-step course that walks you from level 0 to level 1 in plain language, no jargon, and no technical background needed. It shows you how to get the AI running privately on your own computer, working with your real files, which is exactly the safe setup you want for confidential contracts and reports. Head to aifirstasia.com/level1 and take the free course. Try it once on a document of your own and see how much faster you understand what you are signing. And if you want more of this, practical AI workflows built for SME owners, honest and no hype, then subscribe. We make these to help you spend less time buried in paperwork and more time running your business. Level 1 is right there. Go take the step.